So far in this module, we've discussed division of labor and specialization, and we've talked about how individuals and countries should specialize in whatever they have the comparative advantage in, and then trade for the other good. And in this way, we can kind of increase the economic pie of the world and kind of get outside of our individual autarkic production possibility frontiers. By autarky, I just mean no trade. So what would happen if there's no trade? So one thing we haven't talked about yet is terms of trade. How much of one of our goods that we produce do we have to give away to get one of these goods that we don't produce? To explore this topic, let's go back to our example with Tully and Lupe. So this is the worksheet that we ended up with last time. In the lower right-hand side, we see the opportunity costs for each individual to produce each good. And we decided that Lupe had the comparative advantage in tacos, while Tully had the comparative advantage in margaritas. Therefore, Lupe was going to concentrate on taco production, hence her production being at the point 0.30 on the y-axis, and Tully producing just margaritas, hence producing 20 margaritas and 0 tacos on that x-intercept there. So now let's think about the terms of trade. So Lupe is just producing tacos, Tully's just producing margaritas. So the first way to think about terms of trade is how many tacos for each margarita. And to figure out the range of values for these terms of trades, we just have to put ourselves in each of these individuals' shoes. So let's think about Lupe first. She's just producing tacos and she's trading away margaritas. So we're asking, how many tacos is Lupe willing to give up for each margarita? Well, the minimum that Lupe would accept for each one of her tacos is 1/3 of a margarita. Otherwise, she may as well just produce the margarita herself, because her opportunity cost of producing a taco is 1/3 of a margarita. So that's the minimum that Lupe would accept for one of her tacos. Then we can put ourselves in Tully's shoes. The maximum that Tully would give up for a taco is half a margarita, because that's his opportunity cost of a taco. If he had to pay any more than that for each of his tacos, if he had to pay more than half a margarita for one of Lupe's tacos, he may as well just start making tacos himself. So one way to think about these terms of trade is that Lupe would trade a taco for between 1/3 and 1/2 of a margarita to Tully. Notice that's a range. So we don't actually have a particular number here. The exact trade or the exact terms of trade is going to depend on their bargaining power. But the idea here is that it's between their opportunity costs of producing tacos. The other way to express these terms of trade is in terms of margaritas per taco. So the minimum Tully would accept for one of his margaritas is 2 tacos, because that's his opportunity cost of producing a margarita. If he got any less than 2 tacos for each one of the margaritas he traded away, he might as well just start making tacos himself. Now we can put ourselves in Lupe's paws. The maximum that Lupe would accept, or would give up, I should say, for a margarita is 3 tacos, because that's her opportunity cost of producing a margarita. If she had to give up more than 3 tacos for a margarita, she may as well just be making margaritas herself. So again, we can think of the terms of trade as being between, that was hard to say, the opportunity costs of margaritas between 2 and 3 tacos. Each margarita is going to be worth between 2 and 3 tacos. And each taco is worth between 1/3 and 1/2 of a margarita. Again, we don't know a specific number, but we know a range. The exact number is going to depend on their bargaining power. Let's just give an example of one possible terms of trade. So let's say each taco So example. Let's say the terms of trade is each margarita, I should say, is worth 2.5 tacos. Each margarita is worth 2.5 tacos. So kind of right in between their two opportunity costs of a margarita. And let's say they both specialized for an hour in the good they have a comparative advantage in. So they're at that green dot that we were talking about before. Tully's just producing margaritas and Lupe's just producing tacos. And now let's say Tully trades 10 of his margaritas to Lupe for 25 of her tacos. So that's each margarita is worth 2.5 tacos, and that's within the range of our terms of trade that each person would be willing to accept. If they did this, Tully would end up with 10 margaritas and 25 tacos. So 10 margaritas and 25 tacos. So Tully would be consuming out here and he'd be producing down here. So notice that through specialization and trade, he got outside of his individual production possibility boundary. Now we can think about Lupe. So she just produced 30 tacos, but she's trading 25 of them away for 10 margaritas. So she has 5 tacos and 10 margaritas. Well, that's this point right here. So this is Lupe's consumption. Well, that's how much she's consuming. This is her, again, her production over here. So again, she's outside of her individual production possibility boundary. Through specialization and trade, as long as the terms of trade are between their two opportunity costs, they're both going to be able to get outside of their individual autarkic production possibility boundary.